Hello, this is Victor, and in the next video I want to cover how to paint yellow and gold, especially on miniatures that are primed with black. And here the most important part is the starting. Normally if you try to apply flash with yellow on top of black, it's going to be a nightmare and you need to do multiple layers. Even the base, Avalanche Sunset sometimes give problems. And in terms of gold, if you want to apply Auric Armor Gold, it's going to be almost impossible for you to cover the black. So in the next video I will explain how to use and how to cover the black easily and how to paint from there yellow and gold. So what I will use is first I will apply a base of XV88. This is going to be, and this is one of the best bases when you try to paint yellow. And this is the base I use to paint the gold and yellow in that miniature. You see the yellow is bright at the end. Here I did some checks, but here, and also the gold, after all the washes, it's still very bright. So this is what I'm going to do here. Is I will do yellow this piece of cloth that is going to the back. So I will apply thin layer of XV88. You can use any light brown that can cover well on top of black, but try not to go to a very dark brown because then it's going to be difficult also to apply the yellow on top. So you want to go with a medium to light brown. As you can see, this brown is covering very well on top of the black, without giving any issue. And on top of that you can use this brown as the shading color. So if you leave this in the recesses and you don't cover it, it will work very well as the shading, as the color to do the shades. So from here you only need to start layering up with the different yellows to get the color that you want. Sorry for my voice, but I'm a little bit, I had a big cold and I lost my voice. So as you can see, I just apply a thin layer of brown, and now I will speed up the camera. So I will keep applying this brown base and I will be back once it is applied. So now that the light brown is applied, here I will do the yellow first, and I will use Avalanche Sunset as the base color for the yellow. So I will apply this all over the brown, and in that case I don't think I will leave any brown visible. So I will just cover the brown with Avalanche Sunset. Because I want to go to a very bright yellow. So in that case I will just So as you can see, I'm just applying Avalanche Sunset. I will be back once it's applied because there is not much to explain in that part. So as you can see now, Avalanche Sunset is completely applied. The next step, that I will do is I will do a very soft wash of Seraphim Sepia. This one has to be very thin, and I will just apply on the recesses. when you have a lot of texture, it's also important to apply a little bit of wash. It will help you a lot to see the different details and what is the reason of all texture and all the different details that are there. So as you can see, I prefer to use Seraphim Sepia in the case than orange wash. I think it's giving, for me, I like more the result. I think brown, it's working better than going to orange in most of the cases. Sorry. So I will let it dry and I will be back once the Seraphim Sepia is completely dry. Sorry that I had an issue with my camera. I was explaining that once the Seraphim Sepia is completely dry, you will apply a layer of flash gith yellow on top like that. Doing this is what I did here, and then I'm using Avalanche Sunset to compensate and to make the transition softer. For example, here if the transition I detect that is too strong, I will use a little bit to make it softer, especially because after applying Seraphim Sepia the color was quite dark. As you can see, I also follow all these parts here, all this profile, and I just apply directly the bright yellow in that part as well. Here and here in the middle of the last, I did Avalanche Sunset, and then I apply the flash yellow. And now the next step is I'm using Dawn Yellow to do the second level of highlight. In that case, I will just apply in some strategic parts to make the yellow pop up a little bit more. One part that is interesting to apply is at the end of this piece of cloth. Although here it's quite complex because we have these small dots. But you can do something like that. You can make also a small bright here on this other. You can see it's giving more volume and it's making the color more lively. You don't need to highlight everything, just things that you think that are important to highlight. So something like that is good enough. Here on the front, and that less. So this is how you can do the yellow. Okay. Now we can start working on the gold. So now we are going to start applying the gold and painting the gold parts, and then I will use Auric Armor Gold after the brown. And here the main trick I want to share with you was to apply the brown before doing any gold or yellow. I think it's the best base when you want to do these colors. So here I will just apply the gold on top of the brown parts, as you can see. You can see that now it's covering very well and you don't need to do 2 layers. So here as well. So if you have prime in black, apply always brown before doing gold or doing brass or doing yellow. You will see that it's covering much faster and much easier. I'm going to paint also this thing here. Normally it does start doing the yellow and gold on the miniatures, but I wanted to do it to show in this tutorial. I paint the bell. And after that we need to wait until the Auric armor gold is completely dry before doing the next step. So we have to be careful that the gold is applied in all the right areas, because then we are going to do a wash, and it's important that the gold is well applied in the parts that we need. So this is done now with the gold, done with this layer, and now we are going to apply Seraphim Sepia once this is dry. Okay, next step that I will do is I will now I will work on the gold, because the yellow I consider that is done, and on the gold I will do first a wash with Seraphim Sepia. So it will apply. As usual, once it's applied, we will need to wait until this is completely dry. So I apply the Seraphim Sepia, and now we need to wait until this is completely dry before doing the next step. So the wash is completely dry now, and I will do a second wash using Dvachi Violet. I was experimenting this before, and I find that it's working quite well with the gold. So I will apply soft wash of Dvachi Violet. This will give a lot of depth to the gold. And we will give a very nice reflections. As it is a wash, try not to accumulate too much, not to be too evident with the violet, but will work very well, as you can see, and it's combining better than what you can expect from at the beginning of applying that. In the very smalls I will not apply too much, but as you can see, you have to avoid that it's too evident in some areas, but I like a lot how it's combining with the gold. So just a soft wash of the Dvachi Violet, or any violet wash that you have. And now I will wait until this is dry, and we will do some highlights at the end. So now the wash with it is completely dry. We are going to proceed to the highlights. We'll do the highlights in 2 steps. First I will reapply Auric Gold, and I also will mix Auric Gold with a paint from scale 75 that is called White Alchemy. It's almost white with a little touch of metallized. I prefer to use this Then using the silver, too much. So I mix this with the gold. To do a very bright gold. What I will go, for example, this that is very bright, I will go rivet by rivet of this here. I will apply this. Then I will use Auric Armor Gold. More in the edges. Here, this one, very small ornament, I will go straight forward with Auric Gold. I will apply just a little bit of this one. Something like that. On the bell. And then I will do the other one following the same. And I will do just a small touch of this one on the top here. And see here as well. And we give the gold done at this stage. So this is finalizing this tutorial. You see that the gold now is quite bright. Let me see if I can take the camera and have a shot from a different angle. So now you can see the gold is nice and bright. The yellow is also very nice and it's very bright. So yeah, that's all. I titled this one how to paint yellow, but as the gold is following a lot of tricks from the yellow, I wanted to do both in camera. So I hope you find it useful and entertaining. please, and comment, like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.